So what does that look like? Let me see. Steve, you and we met at an event and we're now sitting at a coffee shop. Okay. Am I going to jump right into the agenda in the first second we meet, or am I going to develop some relationship ahead of it?
You're gonna establish some rapport first to kind of build trust initially before you start asking someone to agree with you on something
Yeah.
permission based.
So what would be some topics that we would talk about to kind of warm things up at the beginning of a meeting as opposed to jumping right into business?
Well, I talked to you about fishing because I love to fish, and from knowing you, I know your son is very interested in fishing. Um, did a little guide service thing, and we actually both fish for the same kind of fish. So that's where I would go.
All right. And just to share, I took my son fishing yesterday and he's acting like he caught this, but he didn't. I caught that.
Oh man,
Impressive.
where was that?
That's a serious northern right there, gentlemen. So anyway, that was how I spent my afternoon out in the cold in the Des Plaines River with my kid. All right. So, but you're right, Steve. We want to warm things up, doing our research on Google, doing our research on LinkedIn, who introduced us, who we both know at the event we attended. Get things warmed up and don't talk about the weather and don't talk about traffic and don't talk about COVID. Enough already. Talk about something relevant to the other person or as a collective. Once we do that, the very next thing you need to do is you need to get a permission-based agenda established. Don't call it an agenda. Call it a game plan. People like game plans, especially in a networking meeting. It's less formal. So instead of saying agenda, say, hey, I'd like to set up, if it's okay with you, I'd like to set up a little game plan for our meeting. Is that okay? So permission-based, and the language that we're going to use is similar to the sales agenda or the sales free selling agenda. Some of you may have gone through, a couple months ago if you were with me then. Okay. So we're going to set permission-based, best use of our time. The language here, guys, is important. I don't ask you to memorize very much. I don't know if you've noticed that. I don't say memorize this, memorize this. These are some things you may want to memorize, because if you start effing around with the language, it actually hurts how it works. So the difference between me saying, I'm going to set an agenda for us today is very different than, hey, Steve, I was thinking about it. In order to make the best use of our time while we're together for coffee, I thought it would be okay to set up a little game plan. Is that okay? Which do you like better? The second, of course. Okay. We're going to establish a time frame, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever you want to do. We want to discuss that, or we want to say the purpose is to see if there's a fit. Is it a fit for us to do business? No, because they're not a prospect. I don't think, right? They're not. They're someone who's a potential strategic partner. So it's a fit to possibly refer one another. Okay. We want to split up the talk time, 15 minutes and 15 minutes. Now, wait a second, Steve, it's a 45-minute meeting. Well, remember, we spent some time up front building relationship. 15 works. And then the last 10 can be where we help each other out as it relates to baby steps forward. Okay. So I'm going to actually do the whole agenda with Keith, and you guys take notes as we go, because as soon as I'm done, you guys are splitting up into breakout rooms and you're going to do this and practice this skill, not the relationship building and not anything after. All you're doing is a 45 to 60 second, I don't know if it's a little more than that, maybe 75-second agenda. Part of what we want to do is we also want to get buy-in from the other person. So we're not steamrolling them with the agenda. You'll notice that I stop and ask Keith, is that okay? Does that make sense? Is that all right? Why am I doing that to interact with him as I go through this? Keith, why?
Well, if I'm agreeing to it, then there's not going to be an objection when we do it, right?
Yeah, we want to make sure that I'm getting your that you're agreeing that, yeah, this is a great way to run the meeting.
Yeah.
And people, and I can't tell you how many attorneys say, Steve, this is too formal. I don't see myself saying this. I don't see it's like a lot of the things I teach, right? It may sound funky up front, but once you actually do it, and Ryan was like the perfect lead into our meeting today, like did the agenda, and then like everything couldn't have fallen into place better. Same thing with this. The person's going to agree with you. Now you have a way not only of running the meeting, but controlling the meeting if it gets off track.